I'm starting my search from the United States, just even if I'm buying in the United States, most of us will go to a website or something like that and put in some parameters and start a search. Is that similar for looking for a Mexican property, or is it equally as important to know people on the ground? Is there a lot of inventory that's just not listed, and is it really necessary and important to make a trip to the place that you're thinking about buying?
Well, I think number one, it's really important to have a contact on the ground
Hmm.
and have somebody that you're working with. We don't have an MLS service per se, and so the real estate business is significantly different in that aspect. That when you're sitting in front of the fireplace in the middle of a snowstorm up north, and you want to look for properties in sunny Mexico, there really isn't an MLS service. And so what I would just suggest is, like, you Google, if you want real estate in San Miguel de Allende, just Google real estate San Miguel de Allende, and several agency websites will come up. And you go to those individual agency websites. And after you go to a couple or three different ones, you might see some of the same properties. And that's how we cross promote each other's properties. And then another important thing about having somebody on the ground is that um, you can have $1 million home right next door to a shack. And if you have an aversion to that, then you won't know that just by looking online.
Hmm.
And so that's why it's important to really get to know the area. And there are some areas that have really big expensive homes right in the middle of some very undesirable properties. And that's some people don't like that, some people do like that. And so it's really important to understand, because there are not zoning laws like there are in the US. And so it's very easy. 2 doors down, you can have an herrero, an iron worker who makes gates and railings, working. And so, you know, zoning laws are different. So you can't, buy a house sight unseen and, expect everything outside the house to be like it is inside the house.
I think that's a great thing to clarify on the zoning. It's something I wrote a little bit about in my book too, where those hard boundaries between business and residential don't necessarily exist in Mexico. And just like
Right.
you said, you can buy $1 million home that may be next door to the iron worker, and you won't know that if you're simply searching a database online.
Right.
And
Right.
then your recourse is you don't get to call the police and make a noise complaint every day. You have
Oh, no. Yeah. You don't want to do that.
you gotta kind of live with what you
Yeah.
bought yourself there. So
Yeah.
good advice.